Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 22 video where today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 favorite formations in FIFA right now. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite formations and the tactics and instructions that I use for all 3 of those formations. Without further ado, going into the first formation, it is the 4-2-3-1. Sort of one of those formations that is just brilliant in every single FIFA, and just one of those formations that I think I've played in thousands of games, just feel really comfortable in. You know, I feel like I know it inside and out, and it's the 4-2-3-1. It's a brilliant formation, very tough to play against, but very effective both offensively and defensively. In terms of tactics, we did do a full breakdown of this video very recently, the tactics that I'm using post patch, but just a quick run through today. Using defensive style of balance, the width on around about 50, depth on around about 60 for me personally. This is something that you can adjust based on how comfortable you feel. If you feel very comfortable, you can go with a higher depth. It will allow you to kind of press in the face of your opponent a lot easier, but can allow, obviously, will allow more counterattacks for your opponents as well. So it really depends on the style you want to play. I'm using fast build-up. I think this is really effective in this formation, especially. I think it works in these quite compact formations. Yes, you can use them in a defensive way. I like to use my tactics and build them in an offensive way, and fast build-up is brilliant. Chance creation on balance, because I don't really want to make this formation too offensive and go for forward runs or direct passing. I think that's going to make it too offensive and a little bit too open. So I'm going to stick to balance. Width on 55, plays in the box on 6, corners I've moved them up to 3 recently because I have got a little bit of a corner routine. It's not the corner routine that you might see quite a lot. It is kind of my own little custom corner routine, and it doesn't work like 100% of the time, but it definitely gets me a couple of goals maybe every weekend league. So I've had a couple more players in the box recently. In terms of the instructions, Donnarumma is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. The fullbacks are both on stay back while attacking, because I do want to have that solid foundation on this occasion for the 4-2-3-1. Normally I like to have my fullbacks going forwards, but in this formation and the way we've got it set up here, I'm going to have them on stay back while attacking. In terms of the 2 DMs, Kante and Pogba, I'm actually going to be using them on cut passing lanes, cover centre, but I'm going to be using them on balanced attack, and that's because we are using fast build up, so they are going to be getting out of position. They're not going to be staying in that DM position. You know, I want to use this in quite an attacking way. So I'm going to have the DMs actually get forward and be part of the attack. And that's because the fullbacks are staying back. If I had the DMs staying back, it'd be too defensive, and I think it'd be too hard to score. Firmino, the central cam is on get into the box for crosses, but the 2 wide cams are just going to be on get into the box for crosses, but they're not going to be on free roam. We're going to have the central cam on free roam on this occasion. Again, because of the fast build-up, I think I just want to have that little bit of width. I don't want to have all 3 of those attacking mids all in the same space. And then Son, we've got him getting behind, but we're going to have him on balanced width, just because then he's not going to get stuck in the middle. He's not going to get stuck just running between the 2 centre-backs. He might make runs in between the full-backs as well, which is really important, because Salah and Bernardo Silva are probably going to find themselves more behind Son rather than in front of him. So that is my 4-2-3-1 tactics. In terms of my second favourite formation is the 4-2-2-2. Absolutely love this formation last year. Still use it a lot this year. Obviously, it's on my game plan set, so I do love this formation a lot. Isn't necessarily my go-to formation, but definitely is one of my top 3 favourite formations, and it was my favourite formation last year in FIFA. In terms of tactics, again, we're going on balanced defensive style. We're actually going 40 width this time, 60 depth again. This time we're going on long ball for the build-up play, and we are going on balanced for the chance creation. Now, I have kind of dithered with the direct passing and have kind of given that a go, but again, I just don't think it quite works in this formation. I think especially because with the 2 DMs, the 2 cams, the 2 strikers, there is kind of that hole in behind the 2 strikers that I think the direct passing just leaves, especially if you want to be passing from your DMs to your strikers. It's too big a gap, and there's going to be your opponent's midfielders in between. So I don't think direct passing is going to quite work, because it's going to be hard for your DMs to find your strikers. So I think balanced is definitely the way you have to play this formation. But the long ball works really well if you've got those pacey strikers up top, which obviously we have Salah and Son. In terms of offensive width, again on 55. In terms of players in the box, again on 6, corners on 3 as well. Of course, we want to have those players in the box for our corners. And in terms of the instructions, again, Donnarumma is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. The fullbacks, again, are on stay back while attacking. The two DMs on this occasion, which actually should be Pogba, it shouldn't be Firmino. Not sure why Firmino's there, but they are both on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover centre. This time, because we're not on the fast build-up, we are on the long ball. It's just going to be the strikers that are going to be running in behind, which is what I want in this formation. So I'm going to have the DMs playing that sort of sit-back role. I'm just going to kind of let that front four do a lot of the attacking, and it might seem a little silly, but it works for me. I find it very, very effective. It's definitely one of those formations that whenever I'm struggling, drop into this 4-2-2, and always the game just spins for me. I think I just know this formation inside out and know how to play it, so I can play it with just those four guys going forwards. In terms of those wide cams, they are on getting to the box for crosses, but they are on free roam this time, because we did talk about that space in behind the strikers. And a lot of the time, generally it seems to be my left cam, which is Bernardo Silva on this occasion, tends to drift into that position quite well. So they link up, you know, just behind that striker, like a bit of a false nine, a cam, something like that. And, you know, it just works very, very well. And then Salah and Son, both up top, again on balanced width, but they're going to be on getting behind, obviously utilising their pace. So if you've got quick strikers, of course, you want them getting behind. If you have those big strikers, you have a Haaland or something, maybe you want one on target man and one on getting behind, so you can have that real two-punch up front. Now, in terms of my third favourite formation, it might be a little bit of a surprise, but it is the 5-2-1-2. I've absolutely loved this formation. I'd say at the moment, this is my favourite formation at the moment. Now, this changes a lot for me. We do a lot of formation videos, and this does change a lot. But the 5-2-1-2 is the formation that at the moment I'm using the most. And I think it's brilliant, especially the way we set it up. We set it up very, very offensive, very, very attacking, and I just love it. I think it's brilliant. I like to play with the attacking fullbacks, you know, the wingbacks getting forwards. I don't think the game really suits the wingbacks going forwards, but I just like to have them going forwards, and I have lots of success with it, win lots of games. I've been very, very consistent with this style, and I'm getting used to it now, so I think I'm finding sort of the strengths and weaknesses of this formation. So I'm able to kind of just tweak it and just find the sweet spot of this formation. And in terms of the tactics, pretty much the same stuff for defensive style, width and depth. Again, pretty much exactly the same. But we're going on slow build-up this time. And this time we are going for direct passing again, because we get the fullbacks going forwards. And because you can see it's quite a compact formation in the middle. And you can imagine when Mendy and Hakimi get forwards, there's lots of passes in the middle of the pitch. But they offer the width as well, which is why the offensive width is on 100. I like to stretch my opponent's midfields out, and that's because Hakimi and Mendy go up the pitch, and it opens that space up for the direct passing in the middle of the pitch. And that's what I mean, because I've been playing with this formation a lot, I'm starting to kind of find the success, and I know what works for this formation. And this setup works perfectly for this formation. Players in the box corners and free kicks, of course, are going to be on exactly the same as all the other formations. In terms of the two strikers, Son and Salah this time around are on stay central and getting behind, and that's because we have the fullbacks going forward, so we don't need them to drift wide. We don't need them on the balance width because they'll get in the way of Hakimi and Mendy. So these guys are on stay central this time. Bernardo Silva in that cam spot, of course, is on getting to the box and free roam, which is quite funny because Bernardo Silva for me has been really, really poor. Hasn't really scored any goals, which is a little bit surprising. Maybe that's Bernardo Silva, but he gets into the positions, just doesn't seem to be able to finish off the chances. And then Kante and Firmino both on stay back while attacking, stay on edge of the box because I want them there just in case I lose possession. So they're there to kind of stop any counter-attack that may come, especially when the fullbacks are up at the top end of the pitch as well. Of course, the back three of Alaba, Pogba and Marquinhos. I really need to get rid of Pogba out of that centre-back spot because he's just not really working at all. Maybe I should put Kante there instead of Pogba. Let me know if you guys think that's a better idea. And then Mendy and Hakimi both on balanced attack, and I didn't want to have them on join the attack. That is definitely something that you could try. I have tried it myself and didn't find it was very, very good. It didn't really notice any difference between join the attack and balance the attack. Hakimi especially is so far at that right hand side that I don't think it really makes any difference. He pretty much was on join the attack anyway. And then, of course, Donnarumma on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So they are my top three formations, my favourite formations right now in FIFA 22. Not necessarily in any particular order. I know we said the 5-2-1-2 probably is my favourite formation if I had to pick one. But I love the 4-2-2. I love the 4-2-3-1. I switch between them a lot. But we are going to be doing some different formations in the coming weeks. We're going to be trying out a lot of new formations because I do want to get into trying some new ones. So if there are any of those new formations you'd like me to cover, let me know down in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the content, you found it useful, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up as well. It does help us out massively. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.